Hello, and welcome to our sew-along tutorial for the stunning Eva dress pattern. Today, we're going to dive into the art of creating this beautiful bodycon draped dress, perfect for anyone looking to add a touch of elegance and flair to their wardrobe. The Eva dress comes in two delightful options: a chic short version for a more playful look, and an elegant long version for those special occasions. Whether you're an experienced sewer or just starting out, this tutorial will guide you step by step through the process of creating this gorgeous dress. First things first, I strongly recommend fusing a reinforcement tape on the left front skirt waist and front and back neckline. Start by cutting a strip of fusible reinforcing tape with the same measurements as the pattern pieces and position it along the edge of the front and back neckline edges and the waist on the left skirt piece. Make sure that the adhesive side of the tape is facing the wrong side of the fabric. It's time to tackle those back piece darts and give your garment that perfect fit. To do this, fold the fabric along the dart lines, right sides together, aligning the dart legs. Make sure to align the dart legs precisely, as this will ensure that your dart ends up in the right spot. You can use pins to hold the fabric in place if you're worried about it slipping. Repeat with the dart on the left front skirt piece. Once you've finished sewing, make sure to give those darts a good press. Use an iron set to the appropriate heat setting for your fabric and press the darts towards the sides. Note that all my patterns are flipped, but all fabric pieces are in the right position. Don't worry, your pieces are in the right way. Now let's continue with the scary parts, the pleats. Take the left front bodice piece and locate the pleats on the bottom. Pin the pleats in place to hold them securely, following the arrows and notches on the pattern. Top stitch the pleats at a distance of 0.5 centimeters from the edge using a straight stitch. Take the front left annex and locate the pleats on the center edge. Pin the pleats in place to hold them securely, following the arrows and notches on the pattern. Top stitch the pleats at a distance of 0.5 centimeters from the edge using a straight stitch. Remove the pins as you sew. Now let's move to the scary part, the right front bodice. Locate pleats on the center edge. Pin the pleats in place, following the arrows and notches on the pattern. Top stitch the pleats at a distance of 0.5 centimeters from the edge using a straight stitch. Remove the pins as you sew. Grab the right front bodice and the left front bodice and place them on top of the back piece, right sides together. Align the shoulders and sew them in place using a 1 centimeter seam allowance. Overlock the seam and press with an iron towards the back. Prepare a long piece of bias tape. If your tape has a small width, unfold one edge and line it up with the neckline's edge, right sides together, starting at the left center front, moving around the back, and ending at the right center front. Pin the tape in place, ensuring the tape's edge aligns with the neckline edge. My tape was 2 centimeters wide, so I didn't unfold it, and aligned the folded edge with the neckline edge. Sew along on the crease line, or 0.5 centimeters in my case, being careful not to stretch the bias and fabric. Trim the seam allowance down to 2 to 3 millimeters to minimize bulk. Wrap the bias tape around to the wrong side of the neckline. Pin to hold in place. Working from the wrong side of the dress, sew the bias to the neckline at 1 millimeter from the bias tape folded edge. Be careful not to stretch the bias tape and the fabric. Repeat with the top and bottom part of the left annex. Also on the opening of the front skirt piece. Overlock the long raw edge skirt opening of the right front bodice, aka the scarf. Now let's move back to the scary part. Locate the pleats on the right front piece, more exactly on the scarf. Pin the pleats in place to hold them securely, following the arrows and notches on the pattern. Top stitch the pleats at a distance of 0.5 centimeters from the edge using a straight stitch. Make sure to mark the notches on the sides of the scarf. Take the scarf and fold it over the bodice, right sides together. Align the folds on the bodice and the raw edge of the scarf. Pin in place, making sure to match the notch on the scarf, the one situated at 2 centimeters, with the edge of the neckline. Fold the scarf in half lengthwise with wrong sides together, aligning it with any previously pinned edge. Securely re-pin this aligned edge, maintaining even spacing between pins. Start your top stitch 0.5 centimeter from the edge, beginning at the 2 centimeter notch and continuing beyond the last pleat for a neat finish. Take the left annex and position it over the main construction piece, ensuring the right sides are facing each other. Carefully align the pleated edge of the annex with the top stitch line you created in the previous step. Sew along the pinned edge using a 1 centimeter seam allowance for a strong and neat join. Start at the 2 centimeter notch. After sewing, use an overlock stitch to finish the seam. Place the left skirt on top of the left front bodice, ensuring that the right sides of both pieces are facing each other. Carefully align the bottom edge of the bodice with the top edge of the skirt, paying special attention to match any notches or markers. Pin in place and start sewing using a 1 centimeter seam allowance, leaving the space between the 2 notches open. We will insert the scarf later. Press the seam after you sew. All right, here comes a bit of a fun challenge. First, grab the top end of your scarf and gently tuck it about 2 centimeters into that little opening you've left in the left waist seam. Make sure the pleats on the scarf are laying flat to the sides. Once it's sitting just right, pin it in place to keep everything nice and tidy. Now, for the sewing part, stitch that opening closed with a 1 centimeter seam allowance. After that, it's overlocking time. Run the overlocker along the left waist seam from one end to the other. This is also when you'll trim off any extra bits of the scarf that are peeking out. Let's do an understitch on the left skirt, about 0.5 centimeters from the waist seam, from side to side. Catch the seam allowance in this stitch too, but remember, we're going under the scarf with this seam. It's like making a secret tunnel under the scarf for the stitch to hide in. Place the left annex on top of the left front bodice, wrong side to right side, and align the side edges. Pin in place matching the notches. On the right side, align the sides of the front bodice with the skirt, wrong side to right side. Pin in place, matching the notches. Sew using a 0.5 centimeters seam allowance. Overlock the bottom hem of the sleeves. If your fabric is not very elastic, sew a gathering stitch between the front and back notches on the sleeve cap. I passed that step because my fabric is super elastic. Align the sleeve cap with the armholes, ensuring that the right sides are facing each other. Keep an eye out for the notches on the sleeve and armhole. These need to match to ensure everything aligns perfectly. With everything aligned and secure, it's time to sew the sleeve and armhole together. Use a 1 centimeter seam allowance from the raw edge. Overlock the seam and press it towards the bodice. Next, you'll want to bring the sides of the bodice together. Make sure the right sides are facing each other. Align the edges of the fabric perfectly and double-check that the sleeve hems and the waistline are also aligned. Once everything's in position, pin the edges together. Now, it's time to sew. Run a neat line of stitches along the edges of the bodice, starting from the sleeve hem and continuing to the hem of the dress. Press the seam open and overlock. Overlock the hem of the dress. Fold the hem inward by 2 centimeters towards the wrong side of the fabric, ensuring an even and consistent fold. Pin in place and use an iron to press the folded hem. Repeat with the sleeve hem. Sew at 1.8 centimeters from the folded edge. Place the dress on the mannequin and follow the natural bending line of the right slit. Fold the fabric and pin in place. Press with an iron and sew an invisible hand seam on the wrong side of the dress from top to bottom. Congratulations, your dress is now complete. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to smash that subscribe button and hit the bell icon.